He lived a life most could only dream of, a life filled with opulence and grandeur. Fast cars, exotic vacations, and a penthouse overlooking the city were just the beginning of his extravagant lifestyle. His days were filled with the thrill of speed and the serenity of secluded beaches, while his nights were spent gazing at the city lights from his luxurious abode. He was a millionaire many times over, a titan of industry, and a man of considerable influence. His business acumen was unmatched, and his ability to close deals was legendary. He was often seen at high-profile conferences, sharing his insights and inspiring others. His name was whispered in boardrooms and splashed across the society pages. He was a figure of fascination and admiration, a man whose every move was scrutinized and celebrated. To the outside world, he had it all. He was known for his lavish parties, where champagne flowed freely, and the guest list read like a who's who of the city's elite. These events were the talk of the town, a testament to his social standing and his ability to bring people together. He was known for his lavish parties where champagne flowed freely, and the guest list read like a who's who of the city's elite. His gatherings were not just social events but spectacles of luxury and elegance. He had a taste for the finer things in life, bespoke suits, rare art, and a collection of vintage wines that could make a sommelier weep. His wardrobe was a testament to his impeccable taste, and his art collection was the envy of many. His generosity was legendary, his donations to various charities the stuff of local legend. He believed in giving back to the community and was often seen at philanthropic events, making substantial contributions to causes close to his heart. Yet behind the dazzling smile and the aura of invincibility, there was a man few truly knew. Despite his public persona, he was a deeply private individual, guarding his personal life with great care. He was intensely private, his past shrouded in mystery. Few knew the true story of his rise to power, and he preferred to keep it that way. Some whispered of a difficult childhood, of a burning ambition that propelled him to the top. They spoke of a young boy who dreamed big and worked tirelessly to turn those dreams into reality. Others spoke of a ruthless streak, a willingness to do whatever it took to succeed. His business tactics were often questioned, but his results were undeniable. Whatever the truth, one thing was certain: the millionaire lived life on his own terms. He was a master of his universe, a man accustomed to getting what he wanted, when he wanted it. He was a master of his universe, a man accustomed to getting what he wanted, when he wanted it. His confidence was unshakable and his presence commanded respect, until, that is, the day he disappeared. His sudden absence left a void in the lives of those who knew him, and the mystery of his disappearance became the subject of endless speculation. His rise to wealth was as meteoric as it was unexpected. Born to humble beginnings, he had clawed his way to the top through sheer grit and determination. His story was the embodiment of the American dream, a testament to the power of hard work and a little bit of luck. He started with nothing but a head full of ideas and an unwavering belief in himself. His first venture, a small tech startup, had been a gamble, a leap of faith that had paid off handsomely. The company, specializing in innovative software solutions, quickly gained traction in the burgeoning tech industry. As his company grew, so did his fortune. He became a darling of the financial press, his every move scrutinized and analyzed. He was hailed as a visionary, a pioneer who had disrupted an entire industry. Awards and accolades followed, cementing his status as a leader in the field. But success came at a price. The long hours, the relentless pressure, and the constant scrutiny took their toll. He became increasingly isolated, his circle of trust shrinking with each passing year. The man who had once been full of life and laughter was now withdrawn and wary, his eyes holding a perpetual glint of suspicion. The days leading up to his disappearance were unremarkable, a seemingly normal routine preceding the extraordinary. He went about his business, attending meetings, making calls, and strategizing his next big move. There was nothing to suggest that anything was amiss, no hint of the mystery that was about to unfold. On the Tuesday before his disappearance, he had lunch with his lawyer, a routine meeting to discuss some investments. According to his lawyer, he seemed his usual self, focused, decisive, and in control. Later that afternoon, he met with his financial advisor, reviewing his portfolio and discussing future plans. That evening, he was seen at a charity gala, a regular fixture at such events. He charmed the donors, posed for photographs, and delivered a short speech extolling the virtues of philanthropy. Witnesses recall him seeming relaxed and engaged, his demeanor giving no indication of the turmoil that lay ahead. The following day, he had breakfast with his daughter from his first marriage. a rare opportunity for them to connect amidst their busy schedules. They talked about her studies, her aspirations, and her life in general. He seemed genuinely interested, his paternal instincts momentarily overriding his usual preoccupation with business. Section 4, The Vanishing Act. It was as if he vanished into thin air, leaving behind a trail of mystery and speculation. One moment he was there, a titan of industry, a fixture in society, a man of seemingly limitless possibilities. His presence commanded respect and admiration, his every move watched by those who aspired to be like him. The next, he was gone, his absence leaving a void that echoed with unanswered questions and a growing sense of unease. The office, once bustling with activity, now felt like a hollow shell, a stark reminder of his sudden disappearance. The alarm was raised when he didn't show up for a crucial board meeting. His colleagues, initially puzzled, began to exchange worried glances as the minutes turned into hours. Initially it was dismissed as an anomaly. Perhaps he had been delayed, caught in traffic, or simply engrossed in work. After all, it wasn't uncommon for him to lose track of time when he was deep in thought. Maybe he was stuck in one of the city's notorious traffic jams, or perhaps he was buried under a mountain of paperwork, too preoccupied to notice the time. But as the hours ticked by, a creeping sense of dread began to settle in. The unease grew, spreading like a dark cloud over the office. His phone went unanswered, his emails unreturned. The silence was deafening, each unanswered call amplifying the growing concern. His penthouse, usually a hive of activity, was eerily silent. The once lively space now felt like a mausoleum, filled with the echoes of his absence. The housekeeper, accustomed to his regimented schedule, found his bed untouched, his belongings undisturbed. It was as if time had stood still in his absence. There was no sign of a struggle, no indication of foul play. Everything was in its place, untouched and undisturbed, adding to the enigma. It was as if he had simply ceased to exist, leaving behind a life frozen in time. The police were called, their arrival transforming the luxurious apartment into a crime scene. The flashing lights and yellow tape starkly contrasted with the opulence of the surroundings. Detectives, their faces etched with professional curiosity, scoured the premises for clues, their every movement scrutinized by a growing media presence. The air was thick with tension, each discovery or lack thereof adding to the mystery. The story, already spreading like wildfire through the city's rumor mill, was about to explode onto the national stage. Headlines screamed of the mysterious disappearance, and news anchors speculated endlessly, each theory more sensational than the last. Section 5, A City in Shock. News of the millionaire's disappearance spread through the city like wildfire. From the gleaming skyscrapers of the financial district to the trendy cafes frequented by the city's elite, his name was on everyone's lips. The city, accustomed to the comings and goings of its wealthy inhabitants, was in shock. Speculation ran rampant, fueled by an insatiable media hungry for any scrap of information. Theories, ranging from the plausible to the outlandish, were debated endlessly on television, radio, and in hushed tones on street corners. Had he been kidnapped? Had he staged his own disappearance? Or had something more sinister transpired? The stock market reacted swiftly, his company's share price plummeting as investors, unnerved by the uncertainty, rushed to sell their holdings. Business associates, once eager to be seen in his company, now distanced themselves, their loyalty tested by the prospect of a scandal. The city held its breath, caught in the grip of a mystery that seemed ripped from the pages of a best-selling thriller. The man who had seemingly had it all was now the subject of countless whispers, his life and disappearance dissected and analyzed by strangers. Section 6. The investigation begins. The investigation began immediately, a race against time to unravel the truth behind the millionaire's vanishing act. The scene was chaotic, with police cars flashing their lights and investigators meticulously setting up their equipment. The air was thick with tension and urgency. The police, faced with a high-profile case and mounting public pressure, left no stone unturned. At a press conference, officials assured the public that every resource was being utilized. Inside the station, officers worked tirelessly, their faces etched with determination. Every aspect of his life, from his business dealings to his personal relationships, was subjected to intense scrutiny. Detectives pored over documents, trying to find any inconsistencies or clues that could point them in the right direction. The business district, with its towering skyscrapers, became a focal point of the investigation. Detectives interviewed his family, friends, and colleagues, piecing together a timeline of his last known movements. Each interview added a piece to the puzzle but also raised more questions. The concerned faces of those close to him reflected the growing anxiety surrounding the case. His financial records were examined, his phone and computer records subpoenaed. Investigators hoped to find a digital trail that could lead them to answers. The complexity of his financial dealings added another layer of intrigue to the case. The investigation spanned continents as authorities followed leads that stretched from the bustling metropolis to remote corners of the globe. International cooperation became crucial, with agencies from different countries working together to track down every possible lead. The penthouse, once a symbol of his success, was now a treasure trove of potential evidence. Investigators combed through every inch, looking for anything that might provide a clue. The luxurious setting contrasted sharply with the grim reality of the investigation. Forensic teams dusted for fingerprints, analyzed DNA samples, and combed through his belongings for any clue that might shed light on his whereabouts. The meticulous work of the forensic experts was crucial, as even the smallest piece of evidence could be the key to solving the mystery. The pressure mounted with each passing day, the lack of progress fueling speculation and casting a shadow over the investigation. Detectives, despite their best efforts, found themselves frustrated by the lack of concrete leads. The media's relentless coverage only added to the pressure. The police, tight-lipped and guarded in their pronouncements, maintained that they were pursuing all leads. At press conferences, spokespersons carefully chose their words, aware of the scrutiny they were under. Inside the station, the atmosphere was one of intense focus and determination. They appealed to the public for information, hoping that someone, somewhere, held the key to unlocking the mystery. Public service announcements were broadcast, urging anyone with information to come forward. People watched the news intently, hoping for any update on the case. The case, once a local news story, had become a national obsession, its every twist and turn followed with bated breath. News anchors reported on the latest developments, and newspaper headlines screamed for attention. The nation was captivated, waiting for the moment when the truth would finally be revealed.